Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're doing an episode of Virtue's Last Reward. Last time on Virtue's Last Reward, we revealed that Luna is a robot. She is a golem, which means that she is part of the system, so inherently we were supposed to not trust her, but Sigma does trust her because of the robotics laws that disallow robots from hurting humans. We're still not entirely 100% positive that Sigma is a human. But, so we've confronted Luna in the garden. We're going to say, you should know everything that's happened here and tell us everything. So let's see if Luna does tell us. Let's go. Gamers! Alright. There was a long pause. Luna stood up and walked deeper into the garden. I followed her in silence. Oh, and also the other thing is that Phi and Quark have left, and everyone else has died, but Sigma has deduced that it couldn't have been Luna that did it, but Luna said those are just theories, which Sigma then admitted, but he still believes that she didn't do it. But Phi and Quark have escaped. They've gone. Eventually we reached the bench. Luna quietly sat down, and just like last time, I lowered myself down beside her. You were right. I didn't kill them. How should I explain? Well, actually, you got most of it right. That doesn't matter. Tell me everything. Well, first, yes, Dio did sneak into the facility. He used the large cargo elevator and came into the warehouse on floor A, through the number 9 door. Since the game hadn't started yet, anyone could go through it. That doesn't really sound like doesn't sound like sneaking, it sounds more like he just walked in. Yes, I guess you could say that. He did get in pretty easily. But that's because Zero Jr. lured him here. What do you mean? Dio wasn't a surprise. Both Zeros knew that he was going to come. So they brought him here. In a way. But why? Because his presence was an important part of Zero's project. What project? Here we go. Oh, okay. I can't go into that right now. We'd be here forever. Right now, let's just focus on the murders, okay? No. Anyway, Dio found his way in. They made sure he didn't know that he was actually being let in. So why did he come here? To make sure Zero's project failed. His first step was to pretend to be one of the players. As for how he did that, you had it pretty much right. The old woman was the first one out, and he killed her under the graffiti. He put her bracelet on after he wiped the blood off of it, with the handkerchief. Then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the 5th and 6th AB rooms. 5th and 6th. Counting from the left in their original placement. In other words, the rightmost would be the 6th room, and the one next to it would be the 5th? Right. After that, he went back into the 5th AB room, where Quark was sleeping. Then he just waited for Quark to wake up. What were you doing while that was happening? Nothing. I couldn't do anything. My body had been turned off. Zero Jr. had powered me down. My body wasn't activated until after Dio went into the 5th room. I couldn't help her. All I could do was watch while she was murdered. No. Everything in this place is controlled by Zero Jr. I couldn't try and prevent Dio from getting in either. Wait, if Zero Jr. controls everything, then he was the one who moved the 6th room with the crane. Yes, that's right. Zero Jr. moved the room, not me. Then, who moved the old woman? Me. It took me 10 minutes to get out of the AB room, once I was turned back on. I ran over to check on her as soon as I did. Then I carried her back to the room I'd been in. Why did you do that? Because I was ordered to. What? Ordered by Zero Jr. Oh.
Luna, listen to me very carefully. As you already know, the final stage of the project begins in 2 hours. This will be the culmination of many years of hard work. We cannot afford failure. Yes, I understand. Then let's make sure. What is your mission?
Enter the nonary game as one of the participants and observe the actions of the other players. Ensure that they do what they're supposed to, and guide them down the correct path.
How many players will there be?
Myself and 7 others, Mom. Will you be participating as well?
Yes, our plan dictates that I must.
Beautiful music.
An individual by the name of Dio will be entering this facility presently. He's been led to believe he's doing it undetected. You've been briefed on him already, correct?
Yes. He will murder the first person to leave one of the AB rooms and take their place. If a pair is the first out, he'll probably kill both of them. That's all the information I've been given on him, Mom.
Is there a problem?
With all due respect, Mom, I would like to state that I don't feel right about this. We know someone is going to be killed and we're just going to let it happen. I also have doubts about the use of Radical 6. Are you sure? Infecting all these people with such a horrible disease.
That is none of your concern. Your only concern is to follow your orders.
But...
Luna, I am giving you an order. I am in command, and you do as I say. You are programmed to do as I say. You know this.
Yes.
Good. Now I have one final order.
Another order, Mom?
Yes. When you leave the AB room, the person Dio has killed will still be there. I would like you to move them.
Where?
To the room you're about to enter. The 6th AB room.
But... why?
Not your concern. As a participant in the game, you must have as little knowledge of it as possible. That is why I have made sure you're unable to access any classified data. There are things you must not know. In order for this project to succeed, we need you to be as close to a clean slate as possible. There are some things you already know which ideally you would not. Unfortunately, this is unavoidable, so you must refrain from indulging anything you know about the project to the other participants. You must never tell anyone that you know about Dio or the body, or that you carried it to the 6th AB room. You'll have to pretend you know nothing more than the rest of the participants.
Is that an order?
Yes. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. And is that a carny? After that I went to the AB room as I'd been told to. As soon as I stepped inside, my body deactivated. Boom. Well, since my brain is in the main computer, I was still awake. So I still saw everything. While I waited, I used the security cameras to see what was going on in the rest of the facility. And you saw the old woman being murdered? Yes. It was hard. What I was seeing made no sense. Several of my higher level processors nearly failed. To think that she would be the first person to come out. I think she knew that Dio was going to kill her. When she'd said she'd had one final order for me, I didn't understand what she meant. Like a fool, I told her I didn't approve, when I had no idea what she was prepared to do. When she died, whatever I have that passes for a heart felt like it snapped in two. Ba-da-da-ba-dee-dee-doo. I I think I understand. Everything you did because you'd been ordered to.
Yes.
And it was the old woman who gave you these orders. Then is she Zero Senior?
No.
What? But if she gave you the orders...
She did, but she wasn't the only person I took orders from.
There was someone else?
Yes.
And that person is Zero Senior?
Yes. They worked together to develop the project she mentioned. So I suppose technically my orders came from both of them.
And they were both controlling Zero Junior too. I told you before that Zero Junior moved the 6th AB room. Although that's strictly true, he didn't do it of his own free will. They ordered him to do it. He was following orders just like me. But why?
I don't know.
I really don't. Maybe they did it so that people wouldn't suspect me. If they didn't want people to suspect you, then why have you moved the body in the first place? Eventually we'd figure out that the rooms had been moved, and that she was in your room.
Then maybe they wanted the opposite.
You mean, maybe they wanted you to suspect me? That doesn't make sense either. If they wanted people to suspect you, why move the room?
You're right.
Then maybe they only wanted certain people to be suspicious of me. You mean like Alice?
Yes.
Perhaps they wanted Alice to find the handkerchief and the knife. That would explain why they moved the room. So they somehow knew Dia would hide the knife there?
Yes. I think so.
But how could they know that?
Well, whatever the reasons were, Alice did notice that the room had been was moved,
which meant that Clover also figured it out. And just like you said, Alice used the knife to take her life. Clover didn't realise that though, or perhaps she didn't want to.
In any event,
she decided that I must have killed Alice to keep her quiet. So she confronted me. It was right after the second round of the AB game. Using Phi's timetable, that would be 0 hours and 0 minutes. Wait, you were listening to us in the security office?
Yes.
That wasn't all I was listening to though. I know everything that happened in the facility after my body collapsed. You were watching through the security cameras?
Yes, I was.
I could see and hear everything. Anyway, we're at 0 hours and 0 minutes. I was in the hallway on floor A when Clover found me and took me to room 2 in the crew quarters. We entered at about 0 hours 1 minute. She was very forceful.
I know you killed Alice. Tell me the truth and I'll let you live. Now fess up. I'm only going to give you one chance. If you lie or try and play dumb or something, I'll kill you right in front of her.
I told her the truth, of course. I explained that I hadn't killed Alice. That she'd been infected with Radical 6 and it had caused her to kill herself. Clover was never going to believe that, though. We argued about it for nearly 9 minutes. It wasn't just Alice she asked me about. She asked me about the murder of the old woman and about the AB room being moved. She wasn't very nice about it. But I couldn't answer all of her questions. Because of your orders. Because of your orders.
Yes.
Then about 0 hours 10 minutes, she must have run out of patience. She stuck her hand in her pocket and started moving toward me. She backed me up against the wall and pulled her hand out of her pocket. She was holding the injection gun. I tried to take it away from her. I even screamed for help. She refused to let go, of course. While we were fighting over it. Whoa, hold on a minute. The trigger got pulled in the fight, I get that part. What I don't understand why it did anything to you. What I don't understand is why it did anything to you. You mean because I'm a golem? Yeah. One of my orders was always to act like I was one of the players, a human. Any human injected with that amount of tubercularine would die. That's why you, died. To keep the to keep up the facade that you were human. No, I collapsed because Zero Jr. turned off the power to my body again. He probably felt he had to. Maintaining the illusion that I was human was probably in his orders too. So to make it look like I had died, he turned the power off. Whatever the case, it was an accident. I don't think Clover ever intended to actually kill me. She only took the injection gun out to try and threaten me. How can you be sure? When I collapsed, she looked terrified. She checked for my pulse and listened to see if I was breathing. She also shook my body and called out to me several times. If she'd meant to kill me, why do all that? After a few moments, she ran off to the infirmary to get the AED. You mean the defibrillator? Yes. That uses an electric shock to restart the heart, right? Correct. So that was why she left? Yes. At 0 hours 11 minutes 40 seconds, Clover left the cabin in the crew quarters. She ran off toward the infirmary. On the way, she bumped into Dio. Dio? Yes. I guess she just saw him, really. They didn't talk, she just ran past. And he just watched her go by. Yes. I imagine he was curious, of course. He probably wondered what she was doing. But he chose not to go after her. He had something else to do. At 0 hours 12 minutes, Dio enters the room. He seemed pretty surprised to find my body. Yeah, I bet. It didn't take him long to get over it, though. Wouldn't imagine it would. What did he do then? He'd gone there for two reasons. One was to get Alice's bracelet, which was a blue solo. Right. Without it, Dio and Kay, the yellow pair, wouldn't be able to get through the secondary door. Right? Oh, I see, that was me talking. Yeah. But he couldn't find it. Of course. Phi had already taken it by then. Yes, but there was something else he wanted to do too. He was there to take the knife. Removing it was gruesome. But why did he want the knife? Was it because he'd use it to kill the old woman? He'd used it to kill the old woman. No, I don't think so. Then what do you think? I think he didn't want anyone to see the engraving on the knife's blade. That's why he hid it so well after he killed the old woman. Why wouldn't he want anyone to see that? Do you remember what it said? There was a word engraved on the blade. Oh, Myrmidons. Yes. What does Myrmidons mean? It's the name of the organization he belongs to. What is it, like a club or something? I don't think so. Well, what is it then? I don't really know. No idea? I'm afraid not. Wait, wasn't he here to try and stop whatever Zero was doing? Yes. Then... wouldn't that mean that he's on our side? I don't know about that. He's killed 4 people. I'm not really sure he's on anyone's side. You've got a point. Damn it, this is ridiculous. I guess this enemy of my enemy isn't my friend, huh? May I continue? Yeah, keep going. After he took the knife, Dio rifled through what few belongings Alice had. Luna said he didn't seem to be looking for anything in particular. Aren't you, Luna? He was probably just checking to see if he had anything useful. Oh, I see. This is my inner monologue. I'm just going to read it as Luna, that's more fun. That was where he found the key to Kay's suit. He didn't seem to have any particular reason for taking it. At least as far as Luna could tell. It's just Luna talking in the third person right now. At 0 hours 13 minutes, Dio left the room. He heard Kay opening the CN door and ran out. When he left, he was heading towards the infirmary. My guess is that he was going after Clover. He found her with the AED. She was probably planning to just ignore him and head back, but Dio didn't let her. Hey, wait. Just what do you plan to do with that thing? Thinking about trying to resuscitate Luna. And why would you want to do that? You were the one who killed her, weren't you? When Clover tried to push past Luna, Luna said they began to fight. The fuck do you think you're doing? Dio pulled the knife out of his pocket and pointed it at Clover's throat. That was when he showed up. Temioji?
Dio, what the hell are you doing?
None of your goddamn business. Stay out of this, you senile old shit.
Like hell, you son of a bitch.
He let out a yell and leapt toward Dio. The younger man dodged him easily and lashed out with the knife. Temioji caught Dio's hand with a grunt, and for a moment the two men struggled. Then, as the knife edged closer, he wrapped his other hand around the blade and tried to force it away. Uh-oh. But Dio was much younger and stronger a man, and the wound Temioji gave himself with the knife didn't do him any favours. He put up a valiant fight, but with a roar Dio threw him off, and Temioji collapsed to the floor. What are you going to do? Let's see. How about this? Ah! Oh, he's a bad man. Huh. How cute. You two really look great together, you know. What are you going to do to us? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to handcuff you to a sink. Actually, I already have. Are you going to beat us to death or something? No, nothing so tasteless. What are you going to do then? How'd you like to make a bet? A bet? You've got 20-something minutes until the primary white doors open. So I'd say you've got 25 minutes until they close, give or take. So if somebody happens to come by here before the doors close, then you might live. But if nobody finds you, well... we'll be penalised. Exactly. So I suggest you start screaming for help now. Unfortunately for you, just about all the rooms in this place are behind at least 2 nice thick doors. So unless they're pretty close, nobody's going to hear you scream. Well, I'm off to the Floor B warehouse, okay? Enjoy your last 25 minutes. Later! "25 minutes passed and no one came. Of course by then, there were only 3 other people who could have come apart from Dio. You mean me, Phi and Kay, right? Yes. You were in the crew quarters at this point. Yeah. Kay had told us about you. We'd also noticed that the knife in Alice's chest had been removed. If only we'd known what was happening in the infirmary. Unfortunately for Clover and Temioji, their time had come. Once the primary white door closed, both of their bracelets injected them with Sopril. The anesthetic, right? Yes. Almost immediately they started to feel sleepy. I think that's when Clover realised she was definitely going to die. That was when she decided to leave her message. Just as you said, she wrote it on her left thigh with her right hand. And the word she wrote was Dio. Yes. As for what happened in the rec room, well, I guess I don't really need to tell you. Your theory was essentially correct. What you said was what happened. So Kay sprayed Dio's bracelet with the luminol, and then while his back was turned, Dio attacked him with the axe. Dio mortally wounded him, but didn't kill him, so Kay turned around and stabbed Dio with the spear. And I guess that's when we found them.
Yes.
When did Kay get the luminol?
After they went through the white door, Dio and Kay found themselves in the director's office. When they were done there, they headed back to the floor A to look for everyone else. They went to the crew quarters first, then to the infirmary. Of course they found Clover and Temioji's bodies there. Dio expected to find them, of course, but he pretended to be shocked. Anyway, Kay checked them over for anything useful. And that was when he found the luminol.
Right. Oh, I see. Mixing up my voices.
Right. That's everything that happened. Do you have any questions?
Well, what do you think? There's a bear shit in the woods? Well, the first thing is Quark's bracelet. Why was it in the infirmary?
Temioji had it. Then when Dio attacked him, it fell out of his pocket.
But why did Temioji have Quark's bracelet?
I told him where it was.
When?
Do you remember when you were in the rec room with Phi and Temioji?
Yeah, when he sprayed us with the luminol, right? Sure, I remember that.
Right after then. When he left the rec room, he went toward the green door to look for Quark. I ran into him at the end of the hallway, where the 3 doors and the switch are. That was when I told him. Look, Temioji. The center door is unlocked. He took off through it without another word.
That was the treatment room, right?
Yes.
Where Quark was sleeping.
Right. It only took him a moment. As soon as he saw Quark, he ran to his pod and started crying.
Out of relief, right?
Yes. The display on the pod showed Quark's vital signs. It was obvious he was alive the moment you looked at it. Next to the pod was Quark's bracelet. That was how Temioji got it.
Why was Quark's bracelet off?
I took it off.
How?
Aluminum foil.
What? Aluminium? You mean the stuff from the crew quarters?
Oh, you found it. Did you know that aluminum foil has electromagnetic shielding properties?
What?
Here's an exciting fact. Your heart creates a bunch of faint electrical impulses. Anyway, the point is that you can detect the electricity that your heart makes by pumping blood. Your fancy little bracelets pick up on that. They're always watching.
Wait, so you tell me that the aluminum foil can block the electromagnetic waves your heart sends out?
Yes. All you have to do is wrap it around your bracelet.
And the bracelet thinks your heart has stopped?
Yes.
Holy shit. It was that easy all along.
Anyway, I used some aluminium foil to get Quark's bracelet off. Then I put it next to the pod.
Wait. Why was Quark in the pod to begin with?
Oh, that's easy. I put him there.
When did you do that?
Remember when we first started looking for Quark? I found him unconscious near the entrance to the Gorlem Bay.
So you carried him to the treatment pod?
Yes.
Were you the one who unlocked the treatment center too?
No, I was not. I do not have the authority to operate any of this facility's machinery.
So it was Zero Jr.?
That's right.
He reactivated your body too, right? Man, I don't get any of this. Why the hell did he do that? I guess it wasn't really him that did it, huh? He was just doing what Zero Senior and the old lady told him to do. Everything leads back to them, right? Of Of course it does. So, are you going to tell me?
Tell you what?
Isn't that obvious? Tell me what this project is. Everything that happens in here has something to do with it. So why were we brought here?
To play the nonary game.
And why were we supposed to play the nonary game?
That was part of the project.
We're going round in circles. Why did Alice kill herself?
Because she was infected with Radical 6.
How did she get infected?
Zero Senior and the old woman did it.
Why?
It was a necessary evil. It had to happen for the project to succeed.
What would have happened if Alice hadn't committed suicide?
Clover wouldn't have suspected me, and she wouldn't have accidentally killed me.
Then what?
I wouldn't have collapsed, and Dio wouldn't have found my body.
That would have meant the confrontation in the infirmary never took place. In other words, you're saying Clover and Temioji died for this project?
Yes.
Well, actually it was the tubocurarine that killed them. But they were only injected with it because of their bracelets, and they were only wearing those bracelets because of the nonary game. If the nonary game was part of the project, then that's one more way to kill them. That's one more way it killed them.
I guess. If you want to look at it that way.
Now, what about Kay and Dio? Why would they kill each other?
Because Dio killed the old woman.
He was worried about getting caught, so he tried to kill Kay before he could figure out the truth. Then if Dio hadn't killed the old lady, what happened in the rec room would never have taken place, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Why did Dio kill her?
So that he could pose as one of the participants.
And why did he do that?
To disrupt the project.
Then why did she let him kill her?
The same reason they did all of this. It was a necessary evil. The project couldn't be allowed to fail.
Okay. Six people died here. 4 of them were murdered one way or another by Dio. At first that makes it look like Dio's the reason they all died, but that's not true, is it? All of them, all 6 of them, they all died for this project, quote-unquote. That means that the murderer, or I guess I should say murderers, were the old lady and Zero Senior, right? Please, Luna, tell me, what is this project about? Who is the old woman? Who is Zero?
Sigma. Would you hug me?
What? Oh. Instead of answering, Luna wrapped her arms around me and buried her face in my chest. My own arms hovered in the air, confused about where they should go. I swallowed hard and tried to rein in my heartbeat, which had suddenly doubled. I was about to speak when I felt something warm on my chest. Was Luna crying?
This feels nice.
Her voice shook as she spoke. I lowered one hand to her head and began to gently stroke her hair. Oh no. Hey, Luna. What the hell is going on?
I'm sorry.
My ABT is usually held in place by muscle fibre, but after Clover gave me the tubocurarine. Okay. I get it.
Does it scare you?
This is what I really look like.
I'm a golem. Just a machine. A jumble of metal and plastic that pretends to be real.
I wrapped my arms around Luna and hugged her as tight as I could.
You believed in me this whole time?
Yeah.
Even though I look like this?
Of course. I trust you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I wish I could stay here forever. You feel so nice. But I think my time is up. What? I've done things I really shouldn't have. Do you remember what you asked me earlier? About if Zero Jr. had reactivated my body? Remember? The truth is, he didn't. I did. I went to the part of the core that controls Zero Jr. and I hacked it. What? Yes, that was the first thing. The second? Do you know what the second one was? If I'd really wanted to, I could have saved Clover and Temioji. Then Kay and Dio probably wouldn't have killed each other. That's not all. I could have stopped Alice from killing herself, and I could have even saved the old woman at the very beginning. In other words, I had the ability to disobey my orders. But I didn't. That's the second thing. I broke the first law. I was scared. I was afraid to die. Obviously, hacking the core and taking control of Zero Jr.'s system is very, very bad. Golems who don't follow orders can become dangerous, so we're terminated if we disobey. You lose access to your body, of course. But everything that's stored in the core, your memories, your consciousness, is deleted. What? Wait, are you saying? Yes. Very soon I'll be gone. Zero Jr. is probably recovering himself right now. Once he's done, I doubt I'll be around much longer. What? Why? I watched 6 people die and did nothing. I deserve this. No. No, you don't. Even if you had done something, you would have been killed anyway. You can't blame yourself. You did what you could. You're not wrong. This game is what's wrong. Forcing you to watch your friends die is what's wrong. Oh, Sigma. Thank you. I'm really glad I met you. Luna! Luna! It's going to be okay. I'm not going to let them do this. You're going to be fine, I promise. Just please don't. I'm sorry. My time's up. At least I get to die in your arms. Luna. Oh, thank you. Sigma. And goodbye. Doctor. Doctor? What? Who's the doctor? But she couldn't answer. I squeezed my eyes shut and held her, unable to bear the thought of letting any more of her slip away. With one last quiet chime, the music box wound down. I was left with nothing but silence, and the cold pool of tears over my heart. Oh my god. Whew. Wow, okay, that's very, very sad. God. So Luna's good guy. That's the Luna end. Well, how are we going to know where the bomb is then? Okay, return. I guess we'll save here. Luna end, yay! Okay, so has that yes, it has unlocked that. Cool, well, I guess we're going to do that next time on Borderline Games. We're going to see where this last bomb is and hopefully the last piece of code. Actually, no, I've got a couple more pieces, so I guess there's going to be another code that we need to put in. Well, that's that. Wow. Finally got there. So we've done every one apart from Phi's ending, the truth about Phi. We'll find out next time on Borderline Games. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Virtue's Last Reward. And I'll see you next time. Have a good evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.